Hello, my name is Patrick. I'm a self-employed artist working in Sheffield, and one of the things that I do is make lanterns. I make lanterns with community groups, and what I'd like to do today is to show how to make a lantern like this. And we're going to make a frame for the lantern like this, and the way that we're going to do that is by constructing it out of willow. And this is the willow that we're using, and this willow is called buff willow. It's grown in Somerset, and it's had its bark steamed off, and it's been soaked in water, and it's nice and pliable, so we can make a circle out of it like that. And that's the first thing that we're going to do. Okay. We're going to use some tape, and then we've got this nice recycled brown paper tape, which is really good, so just tear it with your fingers. And it's always good to have some prepared and stuck on the side like that. The willow's thicker at one end, so just tease it around a bit, and then we can twist it and make a circle like this and feed it through to the size we want. And it's good to have like quite a bit of overlap there. If we don't, we'll get a misshaped, and we want to have more of a circle like that. And then to fit it together, just get some tape, start at one end, tape all the way around, and we need to do that about 4 or 5 times. Sometimes the willow is a bit damp and a little twist, but that's alright. And if it's sticking out like that with the thicker end, just turn it in and tape it on. And then we have the first circle. Now we're going to make another. This time we want to make a smaller circle. So let's get some tape ready. It's always good to have lots of tape ready, so you're fiddling about and you've got your hands full. So this time we want to make a smaller circle. There's another way of making a circle, is to sort of push it against your tummy, cross it over, and then feed the ends over each other like that. There's always different ways of doing things with lantern making. So this one circle's that big. We want to make one a bit smaller, like that. And again, we'll tape that up. A good trick, or a good thing to remember, is to start with the tape at one end and then roll it around tightly so the tape doesn't get caught on itself. Don't be tempted to weave it too much. It's alright to sort of twist it through like that to stop it from coming undone, but you don't need to weave it like this. And this circle's a bit smaller, so you don't really need this. So we've got some cutters here, so we'll just cut that off. 2 circles. This larger one, we're going to put a cross on it. So this is going to fit here. So just bind that one over there. Squeeze it in. That'll be fine. And this will come in handy for later on when we're putting the lights in. Now we're going to need 6 pieces of willow. This is 5-foot willow, which is just happens what I have, but you can get it in different lengths, anything from 3 foot to 8 foot. But as you can see, like a length this big is really good for making circles this size. So start constructing the cone. So these are the lengths I'm going to put over there. So you can go over the end a little bit like that. turn right round and we'll do the opposite side. And you'll notice that I'm just sort of coming away from that point there, so it doesn't get in the way. So we're going to put 6 on here, so we can put one on the opposite, and then we're going to put one there, one there. It doesn't matter about being too accurate, but if you can sort of aim for the spacing being about the same, that's good. 6 pieces on. Don't worry if they start coming off, you can always add a bit more tape. And then with this last piece, just gather these bits together. At this point you can decide how tall you'd like your lantern, so you could do one this tall, or you could do a shorter one. We'll go somewhere in the middle. Take those together. Now you can see the shape. So I've got this second circle. So one thing we could do, we could put it over the top and attach it. And as we slide it down, it'll make this sort of shape, so it tapers in like that. So that's one way. The other way to do it is put it from the inside, and that pushes it out more. And I like this better because it gives more of a shape to it. And you can put this where it feels right, and then we're going to tape it in position. If you're struggling with this bit, you can always get to do it with somebody else, get a friend to help. It doesn't matter too much if it's wonky, it's like that, because what we're going to do when it's finished, we're going to carry them with a stick in the air. So they won't need to stand up on their own. And there we go, so that's the first part of the frame, which is the same as that one I've done there. There's various different lights you could have in a lantern like this. You could have a push button light, different fairy lights, all sorts of lights on there. Usually use LED lights. There we go. So I'm just going to tape the switch on that bottom cross that we did earlier. Okay. Now, temptation might be to go around the edge, which you could do. Some people like to follow the willow, but for this, I'm going to go right up the middle. I'll put them on so we can see. And thread it through, and you can just go over the top and back down the inside. So what we've got is the light down the middle, but it also gives a little shake there, and that way the light will radiate outwards. The paper that we're going to use is called wet strength tissue paper. This is great stuff. Unlike your average tissue paper, this won't fall apart when it gets wet, and it's going to get wet. So this is washable PVA. Put an amount in there and add some water. Stir it together, and you want the consistency of single cream, so not too thick, not too thin. With this tissue paper, this is really good. One thing to know is that it tears really easy one way, but it won't tear the other way. So you might need smaller pieces. You can get it to the size that you want. It's always good to have a few sheets of paper, the right size that you want ready, or working with somebody, so they can have dry hands while you get on with the wet stuff. can make the tissue paper really wet. Like that. And then we pick the tissue paper up by the corners and we're going to lay it on the lantern. And it doesn't matter which side it goes on because the glue will soak through. And then wrap it around like that. Next piece that goes on can overlap the first piece, like that. If there's any bits that are flapping, you can always just tuck them under, but the next piece of tissue paper that you add will stick to the last one, so it'll all hold together. Don't worry about creases or it being too baggy, because when the tissue paper dries, it dries tight. To do is to avoid the tissue sticking together, which you might do. You might have to get somebody to help you unravel the tissue paper. Over the ends, these bits here, we just tear it or poke it over. That takes us to this same stage as there, and then it's good to let this dry for a little bit before we go on to the next stage. So here we have the first part of our lantern made. We've made the frame, we've got lights in, and we've covered it with the white wet straight tissue paper. Now we're ready for the fun part. So now we can colour it, and you can colour a lantern however you want. And what's really nice is to be able to use tissue paper again, and this time we're just going to lay the tissue paper on top like that and just gently brush it, and that's all we need to do. And then you can make, and then you can just keep adding more tissue paper. You don't even have to have a design in your mind when you start, you can just see what happens. It only needs one layer of tissue paper. If you add more, you'll get a darker colour where it overlaps. You can tear the tissue paper up into strips, you can cut it with shapes with scissors, you can do a whole area in one colour. It's quite nice to overlap the colours, so you can do nice gradients of colour. Like that. If you want to do darker colours on top, that works well. And you could just keep going like that and working your way along. And then we just carry on until you've got your finished design. You can use like garden wire or strong thread. And we're just going to make a little hole through the top. And hold on there. And twist that. And around on there. And what we're to do is just like leave a little gap. We don't want it too big. If you have too big a gap, the lantern will swing around all over the place. Just a short distance, it'll be fine. You might need to add a bit of tape on there to stop it from coming off the end. And hold it together. And then you can carry your lantern on the procession.